Welcome back, everybody, to another F1 24 Driver Career Mode episode. Today, heading off to Canada, and we also have a secret meeting with the Haas cars. But I think we're going to decline further talks, but let's jump on into it. So let's jump on in straight to the secret meeting. We've got a whole team of people here this time. Let's see what they have to offer us here. They've got a 70 or 57% success rate with 19 upgrades applied. They've got a higher success rate but less upgrades. With lower average times, but I think we're better off sticking with where we're at. We're going to decline talks. Try to get a better ride somewhere else. We're right.
Hey, just a quick one for me. The team are pleased that you declined that meeting.
We're right there with them, trying to look for an upgrade, but we'll see. We've got to bring in some more consistent results, I think, if we're going to have that happen. So let's look at the messages here. Personal, currently tracking nicely towards our so again, an update with our rating as well as our recognition. We're up to a 41% recognition. Okay, so let's move on to specialists here. Overtake 5 cars on track. Let's do 170. That should be fairly easy down the back straight here. Essentially make it into Q2 or finish at a better position than your teammate in the race. I would go for making it in the Q2. Nothing there. Spend over 45 seconds in 4th gear during a race weekend. That's probably pretty easy to do by the time I do practice and qualifying. Perfect the race strategy practice program. Perfect one practice program. We'll do the race strategy. Not that it really matters there, but now on to some R&D. Ocon's looking at some durability. Let's get this upgrade back in the works. Could also look at some weight reduction there. Yeah, we already have Halo in progress. So need to save up some points here right now. Really all we can work on is the chassis and the durability at the moment. Yeah, Haas is down underneath us in terms of vehicle performance at the moment. We're pretty much neck and neck. So I don't think we have anything to change out here. Maybe need to change out the MGU-K before the next race. Maybe the same with the energy store. We'll see about that. Control electronics looks good. Everything else looks good. Very nice. So let's advance some time here. Okay, we've got durability upgrade in. And weekly resources in as well. So still can't really do anything. Ocon's got another durability upgrade in the works. I'm going to keep focusing on some performance upgrades. Not worry about any of those Durability upgrades for now. They've been wearing, energy components have been wearing fairly quickly, but if Okan's focused on that, we'll let him do that. It's one less thing that I have to worry about. So let me jump into practice and we'll regroup for qualifying. Alright, 300 resource points gained there, and a little bit of experience there as well. Didn't run that many laps during practice, but I feel fairly decent around the track. And moving forward now, heading into qualifying. Looks like we could have a wet qualifying session. Based on, where was the weather forecast? There it is. Looks like it could be fairly wet at the beginning, but it's not showing up there, so we'll see what conditions we get. It looks like we're going to be out on the dries here. If it is supposed to be raining, I want to run as soon as possible. Need to get into Q2, remember, for one of those for one of our goals for the weekend from the specialists. So that's going to be important, especially if it is going to rain. We want to get out while it's still dry here. Up into the hot lap mode. You can launch out of this corner. It may end up being a bit of a struggle to get through there. It's very overcast for sure. I'm not sure if we're going to end up with rain here. They're a little bit wide. About to see. Again, just trying to get out as early as possible, trying to beat the rain. Use up all the overtake down this back straightaway. Make sure we're super fast down through here. Using more here. Puts us in P3, at least initially. See how it goes. Hang on to 5th place here. And I think our initial forecast was a little bit off because it does not appear as though we're going to be running into the rain. Going to need to run another lap here, excuse me. I think we may be fine to get into Q2 based on that run, but I don't want to take the chance with only having 2-spot buffer. Let's advance the time here. Okan sets somewhat faster lap. We're going to advance just a little bit more time here. There we go. Go ahead and head out. And we got an brakes here. So we've got one of the Haas cars in front of us.
And that's P13. P13.
Go. Oh, okay. Okay, Sergeant, let's go, please. I will fight you for this. Thank you. Some of that ERS is being deployed already, which I suppose is okay. Use some here. Got a jog down there. See how it impacts the lap overall. Run nearly identically at the moment. A little bit more aggressive through there. Up 0.2. Very nice. Got a good launch out there. Use the ERS. That's a bit late to that. Should be okay. Hang on to a decent lap here. Back to the ERS early here. Puts us up 0.3. Put us into Q2. It does. We're up in 10th with that lap. It's very nice there. That helps us complete that one goal. Hopefully actually takes it though, because I know last race it didn't, even though we beat Ocon in qualifying, but whatever. Ocon misses out on Q2. Going to go outside banker lap on old tires. Let's see what we can do here. And then so we're just going to coast this thing for now. Let these guys get away a little bit. That should be plenty of room. So a little bit of ERS there. See what sort of lap we can put down here. Looks like lap times are pretty similar to last session. We can't know for sure until I don't really pay attention to lap times all that much session to session. Let's focus that task at hand for the most part. Trying to figure out how fast we need to run within the session. Not really worried about session to session times. A little bit late on the ERS deploy there. Once again, that was almost bad. Late on the ERS deploy. It's going to be a bad lap here. Yeah, we're all the way at the bottom. So not a great bank lap. Yeah, we're going to be all the way at the bottom, I think. No matter who goes through. Running our set of softs here. At the end, yeah, we're way off. Lost a lot of time overall throughout that lap, so see what we can do, see if we can put ourselves into Q3. It's just kind of a guessing game. See if we get slung out here in a better spot. Got quite a few cars in front of us. Yeah, no, we're in P15. Off the gas here. Everyone's just kind of holding up. I forgot to change out the NGK before qualifying. That's not going to be good. Also forgot to turn off the ERS deploy before we start the lap. But I suppose it's okay. Use them here. Alright, out some time. Very nice through there. not great there. Just a little bit of deploy there. We're up 2/10. We need to be up a lot more than that, but I think a lot of that's going to come on the back half of this lap. A little bit of deploy there. Lost a lot of time. Maybe shouldn't have deployed there. Good deploy out of the exit of that corner. It's going to help me down this back straightaway. Up 2/10. Going to need a lot more than that though. Much better through there. Up nearly 8/10. Puts us in 10th, so we make it in the Q3 as well. Very nice there. But with that, don't think we're going to run a lap in Q3. There's not really any reason for me to. To run. It's just a matter of wasting the tires that we have, because I think we can get that set back in the race if we don't use them here. So just going to advance here. I'm not going to get up past 10th. I haven't in the first two sessions, so I don't see any point in doing so. So
wraps up now. We have our grid lineup for the big
let's
race
head
tomorrow.
off to the
Be sure to
race. Let's see first on the ratings where we end up. Pace goes up. Nothing else goes up, but pace does go up a fair amount in comparison to the rating. But let's head off to the Grand Prix now. We've got 35 laps, and it looks like maybe some weather in the race as well. So let's jump on into it.
Montreal is not only the second largest French-speaking city in the world, but it's home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. The name Villeneuve looms large over this one, but who can write their own legends today? It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on this circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Benjamin, Hamilton, Sargent, Albon, Bottas, Ocon, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Joe, Tsunoda, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Gnomes. Now, Ant, you know us. Professionals as we are, we don't listen to rumours all the time, just some of the time. And in the case of this driver, I think we were right to listen to those rumours because they were true.
Well, every driver has their own characteristics and how they deal with these situations, but a lot of it may have to do with whether the seat they're in currently is secured or not. And you know, I would say to these drivers, try not to think too much about it. Make sure you focus on your performances on track, because that's what's going to make the difference.
Alrighty, so looking at the strategy here, looks like a one-stop, 4 enters the whole way through. I'm quite fine with that strategy. Maybe they finally got the whole tire wear, or the whole wet weather tire stuff figured out. So I've seen quite a bit out about that. But I don't think
Charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
I've seen a patch come out at all When did I make contact with Piastri? I don't know. Very wet out here though. Would not have been right for dries at all, which has been some of the problem. I was kind of there. Don't get too mad at me. I'm using some ERS here. Takes forever for us to get any traction though, and realistically we cannot compete with that McLaren. We're trying, but realistically vehicle performance is not going to be there. We can try to hold on as long as possible. Spear again, major sliding through some of these corners. In with the enters.
Good job.
Let's try or not. Okay, we did re-overtake Norris, but it was kind of chaotic, not kind of, very chaotic to do so. The thing that's going to help me out here in the wet is the fact that there's no DRS, and that may really play out well for me here. We'll see. I mean, granted, I still can't make up ground on the cars in front of me with not having DRS, but most of the time I can't do that anyways because we're too far back. So more than anything, it's helping us out because the cars behind me don't have access to DRS to catch up to me. So we'll see here. Slowly making up some ground on the cars in front, kind of, sort of, maybe not really. Norris, we're holding a steady gap over the slap. Keep an eye on that. Says that Verstappen has fast lap. We're going to be close to that, I think. We are.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
We have the fastest lap. It's very good news for us. And some ERS here, though it doesn't really help me out when I don't have any traction. It's very, very wet here. Probably almost on the verge of needing
No need to worry
wet
about the tyre
weathers,
conditions
but
for now. Everything's looking good.
I sure hope so. I guess that's one thing that we haven't considered is what the tires look like, but no, we're looking good right now. May be able to even run these all the way. We'll have to see how all that plays out. But slowly making gains on Piastri, I think.
The rain's getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out.
Alrighty. Good to know, I guess. It's still quite a heavy rain. Maybe eventually heading to dry compound, but I foresee this being quite wet for a while. Purple third sector there. We're right on the back end of Piastri here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make a move realistically. Maybe here. Nope, too much of a slide out of the exit. Here though is a viable option. And we get the move done. Very nice. It's a good spot to do it. And I think those McLarens are somewhat struggling on these wet conditions. because I'm able to pull away from them both pretty well as we've gone around them. So we'll see here. I think Piastri is deploying some of that ERS, but I think we've got a few corners that were better than him in. That's going to help us out in the end. So
Okay, the car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form.
very nice. I'm just doing the same thing. Now trying to run on Perez if we can, but trying to take some time as well to charge the battery. It's going to be very important to have here. Purple sector, and just like that we are caught up to Perez somewhat, not right on him, but somewhat close to him. I don't think we're going to be as good as this thing dries out though. So I'd like this thing to kind of stay wet as long as possible, but I don't foresee it staying wet the entire race. I think it's going to end up drying out. Maybe looking at a two-stopper to go to dry tires, but we'll see what that looks like. I think Perez has some ERS deployed down that straight, but we were so good through that last chicane there. Able to make up a lot of time on these AI, particularly in these conditions. A similar position that we were in with Piastri right now. It's just about timing it up. Maybe through this corner
Okay,
again.
It's Perez ahead of you. We don't want to let this hold us up too long, so do your best to get past and get on with the race.
And we're going to do
Stuff,
just
mate. You hit the
that.
target well there. Nice one. It's a long way to go in this
Didn't
race,
take
though.
us very long at all. Yes, now we move on to Russell. Finally some good racing from me this episode. It's been quite a while since we've had that, but I'm quite enjoying these wet conditions. Really helps put me on an even playing field with some of the rest of the cars in terms of how I drive compared to them, as well as just the pace on the cars. So Piastri definitely uses, or not Piastri, Perez definitely uses up a lot of ERS down that back straight. I did as well that time, trying to keep myself in touch with some of these guys. We're getting close to Russell, probably going to need another lap or two to try and make a move on him. So I don't think we're not quite close enough here. Maybe.
Still the right tires for the time being.
Nope. We backed out of it. I wasn't going. Finally made the right choice. Didn't make a stupid mistake through there. We'll have to time it up for next lap, because that's going to be our best corner to get past people right now, I think. If we don't get the best run out of here, try and make it down the straightaway. I'm using a lot of deploy here. And maybe I need to look at using it a little bit later in the straightaway when I've got better traction, but we'll see. I think we're going to be at a good distance to be able to make this move on Russell into this corner coming up here. aggressive through that little chicane. Oh, very nice. Makes some contact with us and really messes himself up more than us with that contact. And now we're right on the gearbox of Leclerc, who's kind of looks a little stuck behind signs at the moment. We're getting some wear on the rear tires here. Probably just with some of the wheel spin that we're getting out of some of the corners. Probably try to be more careful about that. Other thing is, nope, temperatures look good. I was wondering if temperatures were playing a bit of a part into it, but it does not appear so. Use a little bit of ERS there. Also maybe somewhat due to, it sounds like we're skidding the rear tires just a little bit under some of these heavy braking zones, as we are nearly able to get to the outside of Leclerc there. Make it go around the outside. We'll save our move for this chicane though. Nope, got too wiggly there. We'll have to save it for next lap.
Spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
It is starting to dry up here though. There is starting to be more of a dry line for sure. Good run here as well. I don't get good enough run though. Out of the corner. Ran wide there. That may not set me up well for an overtake on Leclerc. We'll see though. Using up a lot of ERS there. Got warning on track limits there. Actually used up some ERS here still. So we're in a massive slide, and somehow that gets me the 2 for 1 with no damage.
Great maneuver. You made it look so easy.
Sure, if you mean 4-wheel slide. Maybe one of my greatest passes ever. Well, I've had some odd ones, but that one is most definitely odd. Now we just need to run some lap times here. Try to put a gap to
Still looking good.
signs. We've kind of been pushing here to make some overtakes, get into some clear track. Since the start of the race, we'll see if we can kind of back down here. Save the tires. Maybe go for a no-stop strategy here. Sainz is using up a lot of ERS there. I'm able to pull a gap through there. But if we can hang on to this, we're looking at a podium here at the moment. So we'll see what that entails. But not having people in front of me, I'm able to get a much better run out of some of these corners. Kind of run it how I want to. Trying to do a slide through that corner. But it doesn't really hurt me though. I mean, it may hurt the tires a little bit, I'm not sure. I think that's somewhat due to, you can kind of hear them locking up, I think, under braking. So nice gap formed back to signs now that we're able to run. They catch up a decent amount down these straightaways, which is to be expected. We don't have the best engine power, but I'm really able to make up a lot of time under braking, as well as through the actual corners themselves. I'm able to just send it down in there a lot better than there. So
Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay, gap to the car in front.
and we could be looking at
0
some
seconds.
very nice points here. We'll have to see what it actually comes out to, but just keep her steady. Minimize any mistakes. Try to make the tires. Ooh, it'd be close to make it all the way on the set at the moment, right? Yes, very, very close. We'll see. We'll have to see if anybody else comes in for new tires or not. That's going to be a lot of what my choice is based around. If other people are pitting, then we obviously go for it. If other people do not pit for new enters, I don't think we can afford to go for it. And that's a lot of time to lose just for some fresh rubber. So may need to look at taking care of these tires a bit more, because as it is right now, the rear
10
tires
minutes left of this rain, then we
are
think
not
it's gonna dry up. 10 minutes.
going to make it to the end, but engineer is saying only 10 more minutes with the rain, which is not great for me because I'm making up time on these cars in front of me. Even we are easily the fastest car on track. We've had a lot of fastest laps, but it is starting to get more and more dry. Running in some of the wet areas there, trying to cool off the tires. Not that I think we're yeah, the rears are starting to get hot, so try to run in some of the wet areas, cool down those tires. So that's supposed to be coded into the game, but I'm not sure if it is. Stay offline here, try to get some fresh water on the tires. Well, that didn't really do anything. Just keep moving. And we'll have to see
Okay, so
if
leading
we're
our teammate by 25.1 seconds.
if we're looking at dry. I'm guessing it's not going to be
Increasing
dry
the gap
track.
to the car behind by 5/10 a lap.
I'm guessing we're not going to be dry track in 10 minutes. But if we're without rain in about 10 minutes, then it's going to dry out very quickly. I'm going to guess we are to dries around lap 25 if I had to guess.
Okay,
I suppose
gap
we'll
ahead,
see.
2.7 seconds.
We are slowly cutting away at the lead of Alonso here. Very good run for him. We're not going to touch Verstappen at all unless he has a failure of some type. But we're building a nice little gap back to Sainz and Leclerc. Trying to make this lead as large as we can. Because we know it's going to go away quite quickly once we do go to some dry tires, which I'm anticipating. Let's take a look at the tire wear. I'm trying to be a bit more careful while also running down Alonso, if that makes sense.
Okay, mate, we've got some clear track around us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go.
I've been trying. So that, I'm not sure how much my pace has fallen off, but I don't think it's 4 seconds off of, 3.5 seconds off my best time. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but I don't think so. It'd still be very close to go
Now, use the overtake button for more power.
to a no-stop strategy here. We wouldn't quite make it, but that's not to say that wouldn't be very, very close if we were to have to try to do that. As it stands right now, running as long as possible here. And
Hey, great stuff. You hit that target. That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race.
we're going to run these tires as long as possible until we need to run the dries. Would be our best course of action. A little bit of slide there. And I'm not sure if Alonso's starting to save some of his stuff. We made up quite a bit of time there on the back straight last lap using some of that ERS. So I'm not sure if he's just slow tire wear, if he's trying to save his tires, which, to be fair, is a good choice. 'Cause I cannot currently make it to the end of the race on this tire wear. Should it stay rainy the entire time. So maybe I should focus on that.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
We're going to see if anybody else boxes. We're not boxing at this
We're increasing our
point.
gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
Oh wow. But I don't think that's actually true. I need to be more careful against the throttle, I think. Got a lot of wheel spin in some of these corners, getting back to the throttle. Like all of that. If other cars come in, great. If other cars do not come in,
Remember,
no
box this
way.
lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line
Yeah,
as you
we'll-
approach, and make sure you don't speed.
We'll see here. I'm not sure what anyone else is doing. Try to take a look at Verstappen. Nope. Alonso's pitting. So we are pitting. Verstappen's in the pits. I like it. I like it a lot. We can run to the end. On these if we
Okay,
need
let's go
to.
now. Come on. That was a fantastic stop.
Coming out
Faster
right
than we were
behind
expecting.
Alonso. We can push however hard we want here. Still set in the points.
Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound.
Oh, we will. We should be more than fine to do that. Okay. Now we'll see what our true pace is compared to Alonso here. See if he was saving tires, if his tires were just that worn. Yeah, we'll see what we can do here. He may slowly come back to us here, though, as laps progress. But I do like where we're sitting at the moment. We've got a 9-second lead on Leclerc. We've got cars who have not pitted here. That may be running long. I expect them to actually pit here, though. In all reality. No damage, we're fine.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
Right, it was. We're even making up time on Verstappen. I wouldn't count us out of this thing by any means. Ocon has just come to the pits. I don't think we're going to have a run that we need here on Alonso. Yes, we are. We make the dive. We're going to get past Alonso here. Bye-bye. And now is off to try to run down Verstappen. We have been very fast. So let's see what we can do here. Compared to his pace, I just worry if it starts to dry out where we're at, but we're going to do the best that we can. 4.3 seconds up to Verstappen. We're using a lot of ERS here, trying to catch up. Also trying to build a bit of a gap on Alonso here. Verstappen fast lap, but we match it. So see here, he's obviously running much faster with some new tires, but not as fast as us. We're best car on track. But that's going to be a very sizable lead to try to run down as the laps progress. Got 16 laps to go. Could be a very interesting run to the end. Figure out how this shakes out. I expect him to get or to extend his lead here. Use up a lot of ERS here. He does.
Looks like some of those puddles are clearing. We're still definitely on the right tyre for the time being, but we're probably not a million miles away from slick conditions.
Good to know, good to know. The track is definitely starting to speed up here. But we're still saying fastest laps. Even compared to Mr. Verstappen up in front of us.
Catching the car ahead, well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
But do they though? We're going to try to catch them. We're going to try our very best to catch them. The tires should last even as we transition to dries, and if realistically, if we're transitioning to the dries, we're going to need to go to slick tires anyways. So we're pushing as hard as we can here, trying to catch up to Verstappen. Maybe even get past him, hold him up a little bit if we can. We'll have to see how everything plays out as we move towards the dries. Need to be careful getting through that last chicane.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
We've got 2 warnings, don't need another one.
You're pulling out
Got a
second
little
and
bit
lap on the car behind. Really good
loose
stuff.
there, not ideal. Let's get a good run through here. Very nice. I think we're able to gain a lot of time through that corner as well. Just kind of sliding it out. And our catching up to Verstappen may have ended. It may be getting too dry. He's kind of just maintained that gap this lap. See what we can do here, though. Lots of ERS deploy here. To be fair, Alonso's sticking with this fairly well as well. Oh, that was very close to track limits. Verstappen with the fastest lap.
Verstappen's just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, I couldn't touch that. Again with the bad turn is that? Turn 2. But also me having to be a bit more careful than I have been. As we drive here, we do have a purple sector 1 here. Very interesting. Even though Verstappen's making up time on us. Very, very interesting. Let's see what sector 2 is like. Screen. That really shows that the track is speeding up and drying out as well. The fact that I'm not running the best laps and we're still setting better lap times. Very good run through there that time. See if this beats out Verstappen. It does not. He's making up a lot more ground than us. And the second sector, even though our sectors 1 and 3 are better than his, he's making up a lot of time. And the second sector, still trying to run him down.
Okay, mate, we want to make sure we're saving some ERS, so let's try and charge up now.
To be fair, I still having medium deploy, so we can turn that off for a lap, I think. Yeah, we can deploy down the straightaway, and we can turn that to none. So deploy here. Use it all up. K off. Stay within track limits. Go to off and the ERS deploy.
Verstappen's just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
Not anymore. Now Perez has set it. Yeah, track's just gaining speed all around.
Gap to your teammate behind, 45.0 seconds.
Oh my. That's just absurd. Want to get all the charge here.
Really good job.
Teammates in the pits. Is he in for
Esteban's in for his stop now.
dries? Hang on, let's see here. Race director. You can't see yet. Okay. I did not mean to do that. There we go.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
Will do. Be interesting if they're putting him on a dry tire and not me. Let's pause here. Race director. Yes, people are going out onto the hards. How many laps to go do we have? I don't want to lose time to them. And I should have pitted there. I should have just sent it in. Well, we're going to get to lead a lap. And why can I not talk to my engineer? Alright then. I did not notice that. DRS is enabled. Yep, we should have pitted that lap. Rears are absolutely dying here. We're going to lose so many spots because of this. Can we go to the mediums? No, we're going to go to the hards.
Just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres.
Yeah, Verstappen's making up so much time on me, even with that stop. Oh, I wish I would have pitted last lap. We actually are going to go to 7 mediums. I think we can make them work.
Right, temperatures are vital for tyre wear, as you well
Okay,
know.
we're sending this thing in. Should make up lots of time there. Oh, and they've made a mistake. Of course they have. Verstappen's long gone.
Attaching the left front wheel. I know it's not ideal, but it's behind us and get back into this race.
It's going to be very close with Alonso here. I think we may be able to get him here. We are on the preferred tire. And the little bit of moisture that's still left on track should help with my wear as well. Man, I wish I would have pitted a lap earlier. We just lost so much time to the cars around us, but now I don't know if we're going to be able to catch Albon. Or not Albon, Alonso. That's going to be a very hard car to overtake with where they're at in terms of the performance metrics. But we'll see here. Still gotta be careful going through there. What helps though is that everyone is so spread out with having the rain, so I'm not in any real danger of falling too far behind with cars overtaking me, or even if I were to have a penalty or anything like that. But we'll see here. Green first sector. I'm not nearly as fast as them now because I can't. They're all sending around the corners like I have been in the wet, but now it's not wet anymore, or in dry conditions, so there's not any time to be made up there. Alonso's going to pull away here. Leclerc is catching. So is Norris. Coming to 7 to go. We'll see what we can pull off here. Verstappen with the fastest lap. I expect him to hang on to that. It may swap back and forth some. As the track dries out, you got cars further back who can set faster lap times as the track gets drier for them. But yeah, we'll see here what we're able to do. I'm hoping I made the right call going to the mediums. Hopefully we're not dying at the end of the run. No, tire wear looks pretty good right now. So, good to hear, good to see.
Gap to the car
So
in front, 4.1 seconds.
good run there. Deploy. Verstappen's fast lap. I expect him to continue to set fast laps basically until the end of the race. Purple sector 3 there, but we're so slow everywhere else that we're not able to keep time with everyone else. But yeah, we'll see what we're able to do. 6 laps to go. Keep saying green sectors, but not any purples. Well, we had the one purple in sector 3. Again, still having to be a little bit careful. We've got 2 warnings on track limits. So it's not like we can just bonsai into every corner, but Leclerc is going to catch up, likely pass us, especially as we get to the long back straightaway. But we'll see how that goes. I also expect them to have a chance down this front straight as well. Six laps to go. No, 5 laps to go. My bad. They go quick around here. Russell with the fastest lap. Verstappen may not actually get the fastest lap because there's going to be others behind them who technically have a drier track on a technicality just because they're further back. And there's been more cars that have driven over track. Tracks had technically a little bit more time to dry. Therefore, able
5.6 seconds.
to run just a little bit faster. See if Leclerc has DRS on us here. Should be fairly obvious. We're using up all our ERS. Definitely making up time. Not extreme amounts of time. I'm not sure if there's a second timing gate. I'd say signs. It's the player who's right behind us. I'd really like to hang on to my podium finish though. So we're going to fight Claire quite hard once he gets to us. Let's see what we can make happen here. Going to have DRS here. I'm going to try to get him back.
On him, he might make a mistake.
On the main straightaway here though. We're going to be close enough. It's going to be about getting out of this corner well enough. And using up a lot of battery to do it. Should have a massive run. Oh, hokey jamoky. He defends. Oh my word. We're all up into him.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit
No,
stop.
we do not. We need a podium finish. Can we send it down into this section any bit better? Nope, cannot. Well, there goes podium. I can't catch him. It's going to be too much. Try to catch up to him.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to
now it's
utilize
going to be
some of this energy. Come on.
hanging on to as many points as we can. It's going to be close whether we've got DRS here or not. The deduction point is back on the other straightaway. We do have DRS here. There's no way that we're going to catch up to him and make a pass, but we do have it for both the straightaways. Yeah.
Okay, you're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Let's keep pushing.
We make up some time, but not enough. Got 2 laps to go here. See if we can hang on to a 4th place. That's still phenomenal for us. Getting a little bit of a pull from Leclerc is helping me, though I don't expect to have it down the back straight. Yeah, we're not going to have it down the back straight. It's too far out in front of us even already. Before they hit that detection point. But somewhat to be expected with the fact that where the car is at, the rain helped us out a lot in order to get us up to this point. So no complaints at all. Leclerc looks like he's going to finish with the fastest lap, unless Verstappen's got something in the bag. I won't say anything yet, but it's looking like we're going to come home in P4. Let's not jinx that, but it's what the cards are showing right now. Sainz isn't going to have enough of a run, I don't think. He is going to have. Let's use some ERS here. I think we stayed out of range for him there. And he's going to have probably a fair bit of battery left here. But I should be able to hang on. We had quite a bit left. Especially if he doesn't have DRS. Nope, we're going to be fine. Nice and easy through the last chicane the final time. No penalty. Very nice. Checkered flag. We bring home 4th place. Amazing stuff for us there. Phenomenal driver of the day. You bet ya. From P9 on the start grid to 4th, we were driving phenomenally there, so yeah, I'll take that much. Looks like it's raining again now. Ocon actually didn't do terrible there. Results are Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc, ourselves, very nice there. 12 points for us. Sainz, Norris, Hamilton, Perez, Piastri, Russell, Albon, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Ocon, Bottas, Sargent, Tsunoda, Stroll, Hulkenberg, and Guan Yu. Everyone on the 2-stop there. You would have been stupid not to, with how much it dried out and how quickly it dried out. I should have just gone into the pits. As soon as I saw Ocon go into the pits, I should have gone in. It probably would have saved me in terms of getting that podium, but oh well. Let's head back to the main menu. This should do great stuff for all our attributes of our rating. We have a championship rivalry with Stroll now? Oh, that's going to be hard to do. Alright. I mean, okay. We're 4 points behind right now, but that's going to be a hard one to do. All the attributes going up here. Focus going way up. Very nice. Up to a 75 rating. Let's look at the details here. Okay, that's fairly normal. 5 positions above our starting, 16 overtakes, 2 objectives, and the rivalry. No penalties. We had 4 warnings. Knocked that back a little bit, but no DNF helps us out as well. The broken part, the margin to the fastest lap, which we probably weren't all that far off, but definitely a little bit off. And then 14 positions higher than expected. That means our expected has dropped to 18th versus 16th. It was 16th at first. So let's keep moving here. Recognition. Does that go up? We're at 41. We can do simultaneous upgrades. I'm not sure what that allows us to do, but and then specialists. All those should be completed. We get a new perk with our wind tunnel engineer. Very nice. And moving back to the main menu. I'm so excited right now. It's probably the best race that I've ever raced in F1.
It seems as if you have a new rival. This is the perfect opportunity to show the world why you belong in this sport. And to show me why you belong amongst my very exclusive clientele. That's a joke. I love working with you.
Alrighty, but she does bring up a good point. Need to really try to prove our worth here. Back up that finish, but I think we're heading off to a good place to do it at. The Spanish Grand Prix. Gotta be aiming for a points finish every race here with that additional rivalry. So we need 16 points to win. That's
the
what it's saying.
championship rivalry tracks the amount of points you've got in the Drivers' Championship in relation to your rival. You'll need to lead by a certain amount to be declared the winner. Here you can see the gap needed to win, as well as the rewards that will be given.
So, but another thing I want to look at is that R&D. We're blowing Ocon out of the water, except for race results. We've only beaten him twice in the actual race. But that's a big thing there. The thing that I'm worried about is Aston Martin currently sits 5th in terms of the car performance, and the Alpine currently sits in 9th. So, very interested to see what that brings. Probably need to switch out some parts here next episode, but that'll be for next episode. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, guys. It was very fun for me, making overtakes left and right, being able to hold my own, running down Verstappen. That was crazy to watch, though it did not end up happening. We did hold the lead for a lap, but that's because of the strategy. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.